tropics. They're active. We're watching the Gulf of Mexico. A lot of people out there concerned.
Yeah, and we have a great reason to be concerned, Betty, because this is a huge storm right over the Gulf of Mexico. You can see how expansive this thing is. Even on this huge global shot, it's pretty much taking up most of the Gulf of Mexico. And you can see that it is looking a little less organized than it was before, because it did move over the Yucatan Peninsula. Of course, that creates friction as the storm moves across, tears it up a little bit. But now that it's over the nice warm waters of the Gulf, we have weak winds aloft. We're expecting to see this storm continue to intensify as we head into the next 36 hours. It's moving to the west-northwest at 18 miles per hour. The winds are max sustained at 50 miles per hour right now. So this is what we expect to see as we head into our Tuesday. The projected path taking it to the northwest, and of course that includes South Texas. In fact, really from a very wide swath stretching probably around 100 miles north of Brownsville and then about 75 miles to the south of Brownsville, and landfall occurring most likely late Wednesday into early Thursday. So we have hurricane watches in place right now for much of the coast of southeast Texas. That's the area marked in orange here, south of Port O'Connor, all the way down to Rio San Fernando, Mexico. So we'll expect to see some very high waves, heavy rain. We could see over 12 inches easily in South Texas as we head into the next couple of days. So the bottom line is this, folks. We need to be concerned because now it's over the open waters of the Gulf, that center of circulation. And even though it's passed over the Yucatan Peninsula and it's disorganized a bit, we expect it to continue to intensify the next 24 to 36 hours, and it is headed towards the southeastern part of Texas. So we'll definitely keep you informed. Past the hour right now, and that means it is time for our tropical update.
And our hurricane expert, Dr. Steve Lyons, is joining us now to give us a detailed analysis of what's happening in the tropics. And Dolly, of course, top of mind. Of course, this one came over the Yucatan today. What was the worst that they saw, and when will conditions start to improve there, and what can we expect here?
Well, it was windy and breezy and 6 to 10 foot wave action, but if you're heading there tomorrow on vacation, you won't even know that there was a hurricane out there. As a matter of fact, there you see some of the video out of Cancun earlier today, and it was windy all right, but it's something that you can basically get over. Some rain lingering tonight, but tomorrow if you're heading that way, it'll generally be pretty good. So the next question is, where is it going to go from there? And it's basically heading toward the west-northwest. You can see here's the latest information from the Hurricane Center. Basically moving 18 miles per hour, 50 mile per hour winds. Now let's zoom in on this. It's a very large circulation with the overall wind field. And I put some wind barbs up here, and you can see way out away from the center, which happens to be right about there. You can see winds 20, 25 miles per hour way out there, and waves are increasing to about 6 to 10 feet, well away from the center of circulation. So right now, fairly poorly organized. Part of the reason because it moved over land. It's going to slowly organize, but we don't see the upper environment being all that favorable for any rapid development of the system. Just a slow but steady development as it moves toward the coast. And where along the coast we expect it to go? That is the question I'm sure you're looking at. And we expect it to continue on toward the west-northwest, take a little bit of a turn toward the west, toward the South Texas coast, maybe northern Mexico. But we can't rule out Corpus Christi as a direct hit yet. But we think South Texas, for the most part, Padre Island could get pretty nasty over the next few days. Notice it slows down. In the afternoon on Wednesday, it's offshore. Wednesday night coming onshore and then turning more toward the west and inland with some heavy rain. But keep in mind there's some tropical storm watches up all the way to the north, and of course a hurricane watch up along the South Texas coast and North Mexico coast. Now these could be changed to some warnings tonight or tomorrow morning. Here are the tropical storm watches, and that's all the way up the Texas coast, and that's because of that broad wind field that I showed you earlier. Some of these could be changed to warnings as it gets within 24 hours. Now, let's look at what else is happening out there. What happened to our tropical storm Cristobal? Well, this one is moving off rapidly now to the northeast. We don't expect it to impact the United States anymore. The good news is all the wind is on the outside edge, away from the coastline. So as it moves by Nantucket, no impacts. The wave action is going to be directed out to sea, so we're in good shape there. They're saying, well, I'm going out to the Caribbean. The good news there is look at the fair weather there. Fabulous weather there in the next few days. We are looking at one low pressure center that's come off the African coast. We're going to be monitoring that system over the next few days, but it's still many, many days before it affects land. In the meantime, Eastern Pacific is quiet except some waves in Baja, so let's go to some severe weather with some